The Esri Location Referencing Solution provides DOTs the ability to manage their roadway inventory and asset information on the ArcGIS platform. This dashboard contains lane events, which are a business layer that DOTs manage, describing the number of lanes on the roadway at any given location. Because lanes are managed as features in the Location Referencing Solution, they can be consumed by any application in the ArcGIS suite of products like this dashboard. Events are managed in an application that ships with Location Referencing Solution called Event Editor. Event Editor is a configurable application that is easy to use and can be configured for different groups within a DOT. For instance, roadway inventory can be managed by planning, and lane restrictions and road closures can be managed by operations. We can create line events with a route ID, a from and to measure, or point events with a route ID, and a measure. A pothole could be an example of a point event, and the lanes you see in this map could be an example of a line event. When we create a new line or point event, we need to provide Event Editor with a route ID, measures, and a starting date. If we are retiring an asset that's reached the end of its service life, we will additionally provide an end date. Attributes sets allow managers to simplify the editing experience and limit the number of fields an editor is responsible for populating. The real value of an editor is the ability to edit multiple events at once. We can also retire overlapping events and merge coincident events. All of our other business systems benefit too. As we make edits and changes, those changes can be pushed to all of our other applications like this dashboard. For route creation and editing, we're going to use ArcGIS Pro. Permissions to the data we edit is controlled through named users. Pro also provides us the ability to locate routes and measures, identify routes, create, realign, extend, retire, and reassign routes. We can also edit calibration points and more. In this edit operation, the editor is going to create a new route. They will use the editing tools to create the centerline geometry. Then, using Create Route, they will define a start date, the route ID, from and to measures. From and to measures can come from geometry, or they can be manually typed based on a legal document like a CAD survey. Once the route is created, we can identify it and see where along the route we clicked, along with the from and to measures of the route. In the second configuration of Event Editor, the user logs in with their name user credentials. Then the feature service, they're going to select the version they want to edit using branch versioning. Now they'll select a new road that was created a few moments ago. On this new road, they'll apply the lane information based on the road's construction design. When the editor is setting measures, they can interactively click on the map or type the measures. They can base measures off of feet, meters, stationing and offset, or offset from an intersection or another asset like a sign or an intersection. Local government entities can also benefit from location referencing. Here are the users selecting their street centerline file from their file geodatabase, which they are going to push to the Oregon DOT Transportation Network via geoprocessing. The geoprocessing tools could be exposed by the DOT, and location referencing exposes editing operations via those geoprocessing tools, which allows the author to bulk load data. This process takes the center lines and pushes them into a temporary layer where route IDs are created along with from and to dates and measures. The temporary routes are then appended to the Oregon Transportation Network. Here the user's clicking on the center lines, and now they're looking at the proposed routes that got put into a temporary file. They're clicking on the routes to show the geometry. And then finally, they'll turn on the route network, which is a seamless statewide network of routes that the local roads were pushed into. Other edit operations can also be performed, such as a realignment of a dangerous curve and intersection at a rail crossing. The editor provides a new center line that represents the realignment. And when they select the Realign tool, it shows the measures where the realignment ties into the existing road and what the length of the realignment will be after the operation is completed. Once completed, we can go back and forth in time to visualize all of the changes using the time slider as part of the ArcGIS Pro application. And finally, since location referencing uses web services, we can also expose those services to the location referencing API. This allows us to make calls via custom applications, or in this case, a configurable smart form built in Survey 123. This form was built to show how programmers can build mapless interfaces that allow editors to do data entry via keyboard. The Survey 123 form uses webhooks, which makes an apply edits call to events checked in the form. As long as we know the route ID, measures, start date, and version to edit, the webhook does the rest. It even shoots me an email with a link to Event Editor complete with URL parameters that take me to the feature so I can verify it was edited correctly. If you have more questions, please contact us at the link provided on the video.